Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. My strongest build. This is actually a Volt build, but the reason why I got Octavia right here on the screen is because I wanted to address, as far as with the last video, I didn't show my build when it came to Octavia. I just talked about her. But as far as with the build in general, when it came to Octavia, you just need to have duration on her. So I got that Augur Seeger's Prime Continuity Blind Rage to go along with Umbral Intensify. Streamline, Prime Flow, Stretch, and Vitality in there uh for health, and of course Power Drift to go along with Energy Siphon. You need to have a whole bunch of power strength on her, and you don't need to worry about efficiency because once you keep spamming her abilities, her energy gets replenished. The range is good enough, and her fourth will amplify that range, and the strength to go along with duration complements each other. So that's the build when it comes to my Octavia, talking about as far as with the other video. I know some of you guys were talking about it in the comments section as well, and I looked at that and I was like, oh snap, I didn't actually show the build. So now I'm showing the build to you guys right here. Also, if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe. Keep up to date with the videos that I do. And also, I've been grinding as far as with COD Cold War Zombies. I've just been beasting up on that. That's why I haven't been able over here doing this. Now I'm going to talk about Volt, which is the main thing what I wanted to talk about within this video as far as my strongest build for Volt. Volt goes in long duration survival. When it comes to his fourth ability, it comes down to his crowd control. And on top of that, you get over shields. So you need to have 155, 130, 235 for that range. And you just need some power strength, but not that much. You really don't need much. All right. So you're going to have Stretch in there to go along with Streamline. You just need that much. That's all you need. Prime Flow, so you can have a whole bunch of energy. Overextended to go along with Stretch, obviously. Intensify, Prime Continuity, Capacitance. Right? Discharge, Augment to go along with Redirection. Power Drift, and Energy Siphon. You're going to need to exploit using his shield to go along with his fourth. You could use his first to shock the enemies, but it's best to stun them with his fourth and then put down your shields and then take out the enemies as you see fit. That's how you would normally do with Volt, even if you're camping or just... You could run and gun, but it just comes down to you putting down your shields to defend yourself. Because if you don't put down the shields and defend yourself, Volt will lose his over shield, and then also you gotta add on to the fact that, oh shit, I gotta deal with these enemies right here. So deal with that, and then deal with that. The reason why I was able to get a whole bunch of damage off of that is because once you put his shield down, your crit damage increases. What I could have done is to bring the shield like a little bit closer, just so I could defend myself and also being able to take out the enemies real quick. As far as with the Kuva Nukor, like I said again, it comes down to the crit damage, but when it comes to overall damage, it should be able to do just enough to probably kill at least one or two guys, but it just depends on your build when it comes down to the Kuva Nukor. But as far as with Volt, all in all, you're going to be using your fourth, and you're also going to be using your second. You got to stun them first. You also could put the shield down as well. You just do that. And you can see, like I said, once you aim up at them, you should be able to do some form of damage, but it's not going to be much. And then I'll just stun them like that again. I'm going to move forward just because of this guy right here. Back up. Aim at his head as well. And he's going to die also. But as far as with Volt, it's just going off of the crit damage. As you see, the crit damage was doing its thing. But as far as with this having critical chance and being able to melt them really fast is not going to be doing much as far as with Volt's shield. Because, again, crit damage. My crit damage is up, but the critical chance is still at 11.5. So you're talking about, I'm not going to be doing much. When you have another frame like Harold to push it to the next level, this will shine. But as far as with Volt, his kit, any weapon that you would like to use, he will excel just by with the shield having the critical damage go through the roof once you put the shield down. I barely used the Tedora, but I want to see what happens once you be able to use its other mechanic. So I'm just going to be doing the same thing right here. See? It really doesn't do much right there. I'm able to mop him up. The shield will be up for a long period of time right there. So it gives you enough time to take out these enemies right here. See? Mops them up right there. Really, really beneficial to have that shield down. Because normally in missions, you would stun them and then just shoot them down dead. But once they start to scale up, you want to put that shield down to defend yourself and also to get the extra critical crit damage bonuses coming off of the shield. So Volt, when it comes to defending himself and helping his allies and all of that good stuff, Volt is ideal for survival. He may not show it as far as with his overall tankiness when it comes down to health and shields. His shields will keep him up for a good while. But as long as you have energy to use your abilities, use his fourth, use his second, you can be very lenient. You can be very flexible when it comes to using Volt and his abilities, along with his with whatever weapons you have. Speed is not going to help you unless you're trying to evade enemies. I'm just going to let that cat out of the bag. I know some people trying to use speed in survival missions, trying to kill enemies. Speed is just there for evasion, just getting out of there. Shock is just to stun the enemy. So it's just going to come down to your third and your fourth. I didn't even know they had speed at the second. I remember it being the other way around, but whatever. Use your third and use your fourth. I've been saying second and fourth, but again, just use your third and your fourth and you're good to go. All right? As you see, the extra damage is 50%, but again, crit damage goes off of that shield if you read more into it. But in a nutshell, that's just Volt, man, as far as my strongest build for Volt going into long duration survival. So what do you think as far as with Volt? Do you think he's viable in survivals? Do you think he's like on the downside? What do you guys think about that?